Hey everyone, I am Renegade Operative, and I'm here to react to the Marvel Spider-Man 2 Expanded New York official trailer. There's also some fight footage of Mr. Lizard real quick that looks really awesome and super fun, and we're gonna sort of skim through and look at some of this, and I'm sure that's gonna be an entertaining and stellar time. I did not see all of this. I heard the gameplay previews for Marvel Spider-Man 2 turned out to be pretty stellar, and guess what? This was only a 6-month build. I think that is important to reiterate and illustrate. This is only 6 months old in terms of their build of making this game. Could you imagine how final is going to be? Is going to be so spectacular, to coin a phrase. Let's get right into the mix and let's get this party started. So much going on already. We got like some robo dogs here getting bioelectrocuted by Miles Morales. Oh my god. Oh shit, okay, so yeah, because of the symbiote, and here's the comic nerd in me, making the noise is actually hurting the alien symbiote. If there is high velocity or high sonic noise, it can't stand it. One of the biggest weaknesses of the symbiote is sound and fire. If there's any sound, loud velocity, sound, whatever, or fire, it hurts the symbiote a lot. And I'm wondering how that is going to factor into gameplay. Will that hurt the player even more for wearing the symbiote and dealing with the loud noise or fire? It's gotta be. It's gotta be weakness, man. That's how it is. So you can't fuck around, you can't lollygag.
This is Brian Intihar, Senior Creative Director at Insomniac Games. Thank you for all of your amazing feedback to our demo at the showcase earlier this year. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is filled with an amazing story and story missions. But today I'm here to provide you with a first look at how the open world experience is evolving and how the game is built to take full advantage of the PlayStation 5. The first thing you'll notice is that our city has nearly doubled in size with the addition of 2 iconic New York boroughs.
Oh, Rip Bozo. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Okay, so the reason why I made that sort of little condescending statement is because people were kind of saying it's the same map, it's the same shit all over again, and then they're like, no fam, you got these 2 boroughs over here, completely different. You couldn't go over there before initially to like Aunt May's house. You couldn't go to Queens and stuff like that. And also, I think they talk a little bit about Miles' school, which is a new area that you couldn't go to in the original. So I think that is just interesting. It's a sequel. A sequel is supposed to build on top of the previous established game. Therefore, of course, you have the Central Park location up here and everything that was in the last game, but you now have a little bit more to the side. And it's always fun seeing those expansive areas and places you could not go to originally because they did not exist.
New York boroughs, Queens and Brooklyn.
Queens and Brooklyn, baby, let's get it!
And we've introduced the web wings, an entirely new mechanic that, when combined with web swinging, allows you to traverse the city in a whole new way and at faster speeds than ever before.
As I said before, the web wings is going to be probably equivalent to Prototype's glide, where you're slowly descending downward. Depending on the nature, and you know, wind and everything probably could factor into it as well, how fast you're going for these web wings to function the way they should. But I think it's just mostly your routine quick boost glide that they added in to really stress test that SSD. I know some people were saying it's useless, but I think it's going to make the traversing and everything a little bit more intuitive, so you can fly around or you can swing around and it'll be a fun experience combo together. Sometimes you experiment. It's just like putting fucking bananas on peanut butter and bread and just sliding it down there and seeing how it tastes. I know that is a funny expression, but I'm just saying, man, it's true. It's in general. Sometimes 2 combinations can taste good, and this is one of those things that probably might taste nice. Just swinging around and swinging around, flying, swinging around. It might just all gel well and make sense. Although it does make me think, is something going to be negated in the process while using the wet wings? And like I said, the best thing to do is to decrease the player slowly so they can't really fly around like Superman or anything like that. It is gliding, and I expect it to function just like gliding should. I don't see any real problem with them adding this into the game. It makes you feel faster and more, floating around the city, and that's good. That's a great thing to add to the mobility alongside the locomotion of jumping on buildings, running up them, having nothing in your way. I think that feels really nice and fantastic with the way it looks.
Whether it's a neighborhood backdrop of Queens or the fireworks that light up the sky over Coney Island, exploring these areas will feel much different than the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan, while also delivering memorable locales like Peter Parker's old stomping grounds in Midtown High.
Oh shit, Midtown High. You remember this, right? Like, this was where I wonder, are they going to replicate the scene from Ultimate Spider-Man where Peter sees Eddie Brock here? Obviously, it's not Eddie Brock this time. It is Osborn, Harry Osborn. Here is where he did fight Eddie Brock with the symbiote on him as Venom, and it was all raining and stuff. You remember that moody atmosphere, the moody panels of Ultimate Spider-Man? I wonder, will they replicate the same here? Because, hey, Harry knows about Midtown High. He's going to be Venom in this game. Will there be a big climactic battle at the football stadium? Football field, whatever the fuck you call it. I don't know, but I think if they do that, that's kind of being pulled right out of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Town High and Miles Morales' current place of learning, Brooklyn Visions Academy.
Miles had the Visions outfit in Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is, what they're talking about here. This is his school. So I'm wondering, are they going to bring that back? And maybe, I don't know, they're going to have the weird... He has this costume on right here that he's walking out of with the Spider-Man mask because it looks kind of cool, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Hey Miles, what's up?
Speaking of our heroes, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will introduce the ability to switch between the two wall crawlers in the open world. And, thanks to the power of the PlayStation 5, you can make that switch almost instantly.
Nice. That is nice. That is just fast, instantaneous, and awesome.
Delivering a bigger city and playing as not one.
Oh, okay. So he has that move where he can drag people into him with the bioelectricity.
Delivering a bigger
typical Peter takedown.
City and playing as not one, but two spider heroes were big goals.
It seems this time around the arm, the little legs, the robotic legs are going to play a bit more of a part in the combat. Sometimes they would come out and spring out and hit people when you had them on certain costumes with mods in Spider-Man PS4. This feels a little bit more organic this time around.
For Marvel Spider-Man 2. But this time around, it was equally important to provide...
This takedown is cool, because look at them. They're look at them. It's like, hey, look at us. Look at us. Let's congratulate each other.
Equally important to provide...
Bam! Fuck that guy. Just like...
a greater sense of exploration and discovery. As you progress through the main story, a number of new activities and storylines will become available. The majority of those will now be represented by visual cues in the world that grab your attention, such as a flock of Kraven's Talon drones circling a building, a mysterious symbol projected into...
Mysterio? Excuse me? That? Okay, that's awesome. Hopefully we don't punch him one time and he automatically dies after having like 10 health bars, right? Just like Spider-Man 2 OG for the PS2.
Into the sky, or even an unfamiliar spider-bot ping emitting from one of the rooftops. Many activities, like the hunter's cloaked blinds that overlook the Big Apple, lead to even greater challenges, yet yield worthy rewards and new information about Marvel's greatest hunter, Kraven.
I do like that there's more of a interconnected world with the side missions and side content this time around that makes it feel a little bit more dynamic and organic, so the player might be like, oh, what's that? It's something in the sky, let's go and check that out. Or if there's something that is a little bit more harder, the more you explore, it makes it more of a risk and reward type of feel, where it's like you might deal with like a bunch of fucking spider bots or a bunch of missiles just coming out of the woodwork just to get one particular item or upgrade. And they said there's going to be like several skill trees in this game. That makes it, I'm down with that. I find that fine. I find that awesome. The greater I can be together with Miles in terms of like just upgrading him, upgrading Peter, and ultimately going out there and being just top tier, the strongest Spider-Man out there. I want to experience that right day one. It's gotta happen.
Others will lead to a
And there's Mysterio right there, which he looks kind of funny this time around. I don't know. He looks like what I would expect, just random nerdy prick. And it seems like Miles is on the ground, so he's like, come work for me. He's probably like that, just work for me. The master of illusion himself, trying to manipulate, and I guess that's probably the differing storylines, because I think if this game is going to have some interesting story missions, you got to have a uniqueness between the two characters doing separate things or facing their own struggles as they sort of come together and have their impacts and things they disagree with, things they agree with. I think that makes the best story.
Others will lead to a climactic showdown with Marvel villains.
There he is. We are Venom. There he is.
Spider-Man universe.
I like the new symbol. It's all jagged and fucked up, and it just fits. And oh man, that looks so cool. I want to get that on a T-shirt so bad. Look at that white symbiote spider. Look how badass that is, man. Oh,
Spider heroes have new AR tech in the lenses of their masks, providing a quick glimpse of activities already discovered.
okay, so that keeps track of everything within the city, that and maybe some marks. So it's a little bit more dynamic with visual cues, which I'm fine with.
Or helping locate new ones yet to be revealed. You can always refer to the upgraded Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app to quick.
That app was in Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you can note you can switch to Peter anytime, switch back to Miles, and then there's activities that seem relative to Miles only, and then this is Miles or Peter, or maybe it's both. But I like that. I like that because I could just choose whoever I want to be, or I could be both, no problem. And it just more integration with the Spider-Man is a good thing. It's a really good thing. I like that they really kept that in mind for this sequel.
Quickly track nearby areas of interest. The app will also include incoming requests from those who call Marvel's New York home. Some will ask for either spider hero to help, while others, like the students of Brooklyn Visions calling upon Miles, will require you to put on the mask of a specific hero.
Yep, nice. Loving it, loving that.
All these activities.
Oh, that's a new combo with the robotic arms. You couldn't do that in the first one. And this is a totally new animation with Miles taking this item, this drum, and punching this guy in the face with it.
All these activities.
Oh no, he missed. Never mind.
Including
He's
crime
beating his ass. Oh my god, that's how he...
to stop from the game's various enemy factions, also now feed into the new district progress system.
Obviously, they're blocking out... What? Okay, Insomniac, why though? You should have blocked out the whole icon. Because you see this, right? You see the stuff on the map. Guess what this is? This purple one right here. That's Prowler. He's back. Prowler is back, and he's giving Miles more missions, I assume. Or he could be a villain, and that's like villain hideouts. Not too sure. I mean, but I'm thinking they're Prowler side missions at best, so I guess we'll see what happens. I remember in Miles Morales, he sent you to take samples of music. Hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining this time around.
New district progress system, which even provides more rewards and unlocks our brand new fast travel system. As you can see here, the PlayStation 5 and its SSD.
Oh wow, the fast travel takes like literally like 5-6 seconds before it loads in. That's cool.
Means you can
because remember, like old fast travel, you were sitting there for like literally almost 30 seconds.
Move across the city with very little downtime. Finally, the more city you explore and the more activities you complete, the more ways you'll be able to customize your spider hero.
Oh, you can still do the spider tricks? Yeah, that's when you could like flip in the air and get points and get XP.
Able to customize.
It was in Spider-Man 2 for PS2, and it was in Spider-Man PS4.
Spider hero. This includes mastering
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a whirlwind move. Oh my fucking god.
additional combat abilities and traversal skills.
Increase range, grabs enemies from longer distances. Okay. typical stuff with the gadgets. It seems like you have a little bit more, because like I think in the original you could only hold 4 at a time, and this one is like 5. Oh shit. Okay.
Skills.
Maybe you could swap out too, because that could explain why the ricochet web is like that.
Acquiring and improving gadgets.
Yeah, it is still 4 at a time, but there's these other... Okay, these have to be... The way I'm looking at this, L1 is going to be going between your character abilities. Miles has bioelectricity. He could turn invisible. You're going to be swapping between those with L1, and R1 is where you have your personal gadgets, and you can swap them out anytime. But there's definitely more than Spider-Man PS4, which is, once again, another good thing.
Through the new suit tech system.
Tech crates, okay. And they bought back hero tokens, and the tech parts are probably like, you can upgrade your damage. Okay, so this is like personal skill tree, damage, I would assume. The rest is mobility, movement, as you can see, traversing, focus. Focus is when you do, I think you just do heightened, you have heightened attacks or movement or things of that nature.
And of course, unlocking additional
and more
spider
damage.
suits. And we're talking lots and lots of suits. Marvel Spider-Man 2 will feature over...
Oh shit! Black Raimi outfit. There it is. Ba-da-na-na-na-na.
Spider-Man 2.
There it is, the Black Raimi suit. I figured it would be in the game if they have the symbiote. It made sense.
Will feature over 65 suits from the comics, movies, and multiple original designs.
Family business. Oh, and they have the Prowler outfit back from Miles Morales. Some returning, clearly, and it's going to be some new ones as well, because that red and blue one in the back, I don't think that was in any of the games so far.
And thanks to the all-new suit style system, you'll now have more than 200 different ways to outfit
Oh, you can customize the colors. Nice.
your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Nice. I like that.
On behalf of Insomniac Games, we couldn't be more excited about what this expanded city has to offer, and all the new ways you'll experience Marvel's New York. We look forward to seeing you swinging around in Marvel Spider-Man 2 when it launches October 20th, only on PlayStation 5.
Oh, the Bioblast! All you can do is like a just little symbiote slam. Bam! I can't wait for this game. Ooh boy. It's gonna be fun, people. Let's move on to this lizard fight. Let's do this. It's Craven taking a shot. Oh, never mind. Goodbye, Connors. Hunting down the beast. Craven's last hunt. Don't worry. Well, Connors is about to get clapped. Oh, his tail's gone. Here you go. Open up, punchy. And they cut it. Damn it. This one is getting invested. Fuck, man. Oh, here's the boss fight. Okay. So, the gameplay. Similar, but new additions. Again, those are the symbiote movesets in the tree. There's a grab that we've seen, but that is a special boss takedown from what I saw, because it was way different than last time. He also has 2 health bars, so that's nice. Like 2 phases. Nice.
Is this how you want your family to remember you? You can still be with them.
I'm trying to save my friend, but I'm also trying to beat the ever-loving shit out of him. There's a parry in this game. You see that? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Back that up. Girl, back that ass up.
You can still be with them.
Okay, that a little bit of a. I think that was the grab combo.
Gotta make my move. Think of your wife, your son. They need you.
Think of your wife and your son while I just pummel you to death. You see how much damage that did? Holy shit! I'll tell you this is a well animated spectacle right here. Spectacle!
The antidote. Let me help you.
Oh shit, I don't want to see too much. I might end it soon. Another parry. Oh, giant heavy kicks, baby. Okay, that's enough for me. That was spectacular. That was amazing. That amazing Spider-Man. Holy shit. I'm liking everything that I saw. I'm gonna switch over to some of the news information. So I did this before on separate ways. I'm gonna go to my be right back screen and I'm gonna read some of the things they're talking about. And we will go from a deal. And just give me a second because I have to go in my Discord. I have to go and see because this is in my auto updater. Alright, I'm just gonna go down the list and say what's great, what's bad, what's questionable, and make this very fast. The bullet points here. Marvel Spider-Man 2 details, previews, and more. Double the size of New York. That's common, we know this. Expanding beyond the East River. Near instantaneous switching between Peter and Miles. That's good. Help the students of Brooklyn Visions Academy with Miles Morales or accept new friend requests. Okay, so we saw that in the trailer. I'm just going to move on to the stuff that's actually new. A parry feature has been introduced. That's once again a new dynamic to the combat to be able to parry all of the enemies, bosses. I'm thinking there's going to be things like grabs that you can't parry and get out of the way, or unblockable moves. That's the name of the game. You have to live and learn. There's something called the symbiote surge. By landing certain successful attacks with the symbiote, it amplifies Peter's damage output and abilities until the meter drains, encouraging players to unleash hell until it does. This reminds me of Rage of the Gods for God of War, and I've seen it in action on Twitter, where Peter is wailing on enemies when this is all the way filled up, and he's knocking them down one hit. They're just taking it. It's like a path of devastation. And I think once again, people again say, oh, Rage of the Gods, it wasn't that fantastic. I thought that it was pretty fine for what it was. Simple rage meter. It bailed me out of jams and situations and certain boss battles that I would have been pretty much dead before in the past without that mechanic. And I feel like it's going to be the same way here. There is the new music track. I don't care about that. It's called Swing. I'm sorry if I'm just simply, you know, diminishing that, but I just care more about the game features itself. Let's see. Insomniac said this is really a culmination of everything we learned for developing the PS5. Comes out as a true next-gen experience. You can do slingshots in the open world. That means you can move super fast with a slingshot as a launch pad for Spider-Man and then swing around. The game has ray tracing enabled for 30, 60, and 40 FPS by default. Crazy insanity logic here. They have ambisonics. It is a full sphere surround sound format, and it has positional audio. So if you're an audiophile, you're gonna love this game for sure. The character models are more dense than they have been in the past, which I assume there's gonna be better looking NPCs and main character models. There's more destructible environments. I like that. I always like seeing some destruction every now and then. You know what I mean? You know what like that. Everything I'm hearing so far has been great news. Peter's symbiote black suit is hypersensitive to sound. We already heard that. It can be felt through the dual sense before. We have not heard that, so obviously pulsating through the controller. They're going to add some stuff there. The boss fights feel much more intimate and strategic than the boss fight of the previous entry. Progression is shared between Peter and Miles. This way, neither will be left behind if you prefer to stick to one Spider-Man, meaning it's a shared skill tree. I would liken it to the fact of, I think Devil May Cry 5 did this, where if you had the same number of orbs, you could pour those into a different character, and that sort of price point of the orbs would stay if you earned them with one character moving on to the next one. Though this time, you know, all your progress is shared, and you're not gonna be losing out on anything. That's pretty good. They're going to be raising the bar, taking full advantage of the PS5. There's going to be a ton of side missions. So if you had problems with Marvel Spider-Man before, with the side missions being a little bit mid, and Peter going through smog, that being mid, is going to be a lot more diverse this time around. It's going to be a lot of traffic. I don't really... what do I mean by traffic is not super specific or anything. Do you mean like pedestrian density? I assume that's what that means. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is in the same ballpark as the first game in terms of overall playtime. I guess is going to be just as long, so maybe like 12 hours, 15 hours long, along with the fact that they're adding in a lot more content will probably make this a hefty package. Gwen Stacy is not a part of Insomniac Spider-Man 2 in terms of narrative. Interesting choice. Interesting. I'm not really the biggest fan of Mary Jane, and I prefer Gwen. So I'm kind of bummed out on this news that she will not be part of the story this time around. I always thought that Gwen was the more humbling girlfriend, and later on in other renditions, Mary Jane just turned into a complete... Well, what is the nice word I'm looking for? TWAT waffle? Yes, that's what Mary Jane is. I can't, especially in the Raimi movies, I can't stand Mary Jane, dude. I can't stand her in the Raimi films at all. I think she's a bit more tolerable after, you know, it's not really Mary Jane in the MCU. They try to say Michelle Jones, but it's fucking MJ. I liked MJ in Far From Home and No Way Home. I don't like her in the Raimi stuff, and I really kind of felt meh about her character in Marvel Spider-Man PS4. That's besides the point, though. I miss Gwen. I miss Gwenum. Come back, Gwenum. Jesus, it would have been fine if she came back. But hey, she's not in the story. This may end up being the best superhero video game of all time. That is a tall order. Big ass shoes to fill, compared to some of the superhero games we got. We're talking about Arkham. Right now, I think Arkham is that plateau of superhero games. That is the top tier voice acting, story, gameplay. Spider-Man could succeed it, though. I always said this before when we were comparing Arkham Asylum and we were comparing Spider-Man, and we saw the jump that was Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, and Arkham City raised that bar. And Arkham Knight also has some stellar gameplay. The more Spider-Man progresses, the more they could possibly get to that point. So never say never that Spider-Man could eventually end up there on par or topping Batman Arkham someday, because it is possible. Even though I loved Batman Arkham lore and its very diverse characters, just overall fascination from that series, in terms of the dark intrigue of Batman's world there. They could always surpass it. It like, you could stay at the top and be pulled to the bottom any day. Remember that. Let's see. Either Peter or Miles could join you if you're doing open world crime fights, meaning if there is a criminal activity, sometimes the other Spider-Man will join in. That makes it dynamic. I like that too. You can loop-de-loop while diving and executing a swing. Just don't let go. You could also do a corner tether. to make immediate quick turns. Again, blending in the idea that you could do things with the web wings and swinging. And the symbiote is an alternative suit, so the symbiote abilities can be used with other suits, which also makes that pretty unique. So if you get lazy or tired of swapping certain costumes, then you can just stick to those abilities, those passive skills, and they won't really go away. Overall, and this build is like 6 months old. 6 months. So gold is going to feel just, I would assume, a bit more refined. We will wait and see the details. Overall, I am very excited for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Mostly what they're saying, they're sucking me off under a table, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see what happens when the game comes out. Overall, I am very, very impressed with what is going on, what I'm hearing so far. Everything I told you guys is just my genuine reactions, and Insomniac's been very, very good so far. They've been kind of putting it out there on Front Street for PlayStation and kind of kicking ass. So believe me when I say this, like, eventually, I love both of these studios too. Remember, Naughty Dog was the crown jewel. Insomniac is coming up there. They coming to take that spot. They coming for it. You gotta be fighting back. You gotta do something that blows us away. But again, two fantastic studios still to this day, in my opinion. I can't wait to see what they do next after this. After this is Wolverine, full hands on deck. And then for Naughty Dog, I think they're working on a new IP, or they're doing Last of Us Part 3. Either way, I will be seated. Until then, I will see you guys next time. I had a lot of fun talking to this and talking about all of this stuff in this game and witnessing what is going on. And reading these sources and reading this gameplay. It looks fire. And October is going to be a blast. So I will see you guys next time. Links in the description if you want to check out my Discords, social media, X app, X videos app. It's all down there anyway. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out and have a great, fantastic day. I'm your friendly neighborhood renegade signing off. See you later.